Part 1. Extension, Somerset levels, night. Thick fog rolls over the black water. The world looks drowned. A narrow concrete causeway stretches into nowhere, half submerged under dark floodwater. Headlights cut through the mist. Nate Whitaker, 26, driving a rusted Ford Transit van. Rain lashes against the windshield. His wipers screech like metal claws. Inside the van, unpaid bills, cigarette butts, and a single framed photo of his late father, taped to the dashboard. The man smiles weakly from the picture, oxygen mask hanging from his neck. Nate, muttering. Almost there, just one shift, that's all. The van coughs, then dies. Engine light blinking red. Silence. Outside, the wind howls through reeds and the distant groan of unseen machinery echoes through the swamp. Nate slams the steering wheel. Nate. No. Not now. He checks his phone. No signal. Then, a faint beep from the passenger seat. His pager, an ancient black Motorola, vibrates. Green digits blink. Dr. E. Crow shift begins now. £1,200 cash if you finish. Nate exhales shakily, wipes condensation off the window. Through fog, he sees it. The Blackfell Industrial Depot. A fortress of corrugated metal and dead lights, rising out of the marsh like a rusted cathedral. Every window black. Every sound swallowed by mist. Extension, Depot Gate night. Nate trudges through knee-deep water toward the iron gates. His boots splash softly. The gate opens on its own, metal shrieking against rust. A sign swings loosely. Blackfell Depot, property of Crowtech Logistics. Nate hesitates. Something moves behind the gate. A figure in a faded security uniform, shoulders slumped. The man steps into the dim floodlight. SGT. RHYS Mallory, 41, tall, gaunt, one eye clouded white, the other trembling with exhaustion. His RAF badge is half torn off. His left sleeve soaked in something dark. Mallory, hoarse. You're late, Whitaker. Nate. You know me. Mallory. Everyone knows who takes the last shift. He pulls something from his coat. A crumpled, blood-stained sheet of paper. 12 handwritten rules in smeared ink. Mallory, quietly. Break 1, feed it. Break 2, become it. He hands the sheet to Nate. Their fingers touch. Mallory's skin is cold, waxy. Nate stares at the list. Rule 1, keep the aisles lit. Rule 4, red is hungry. Rule 7, if pager ends in 0, do not answer. Mallory. They are not suggestions. He lights a cigarette, voice trembling. Mallory conted. The thing down there, it doesn't die. It starves. That's why we. He stops. Eyes widen. He presses the paper into Nate's chest. Mallory, low. Remember Rule 12. Before Nate can ask, Mallory lifts a utility knife and draws it across his throat. Blood spatters the rule sheet. Mallory collapses silently into the mud. Nate freezes, horrified, then stumbles backward. Mallory's pager, on his belt, buzzes. 22:17 rule broken. The gate slams shut behind Nate, with a metallic echo that ripples through the fog. Int. Blackfell Depot, security foyer, night. Nate stumbles inside, breath fogging in the cold air. Flickering fluorescent lights reveal a cavernous warehouse interior, endless aisles, rusted shelving, and puddles of black water shimmering like oil. Somewhere deep inside, a ventilator hums, steady and mechanical, the only sign of life. On the front desk, a clipboard lies open. Night Ops log, shift number 387. The last entry. Mallory. 10 p.m., entry confirmed. Next line. Whitaker. 2218, entry confirmed. Nate blinks. He didn't write that. A soft meow. He looks down. A black cat with one good eye stares up at him from under the counter. Its fur matted, wet. Its other eye, a charred crater. Nate, softly. Hey there, buddy. The cat arches its back, hissing. Then it leaps up and swipes at his cheek, leaving 3 thin scratches across his face. Nate. Oh. What the hell? The cat darts away into the shadows, tail bristled. Nate touches his cheek. The cuts sting but don't bleed. He turns toward the interior corridor. At the far end, a red metal door. A faint light glows beneath it. Pager buzzes. Dr. Crow, do not open red door. Rule 4. He exhales. The warehouse hums like a sleeping giant. Int. Depot main aisle, aisle 47, night. Nate walks through rows of pallets, steel crates, and cardboard towers. Every label faded, barcodes half erased. Each step echoes down the corridor. The overhead lights buzz, then go dark in sequence, click click click, until total blackness swallows him. Nate stops breathing. Silence. Then a faint, wet chewing sound echoes in the dark. Like something gnawing through bones. Nate raises his flashlight. Beam cuts through mist, revealing a collapsed cart, torn plastic, and a puddle spreading across the floor. He bends down. A single human shoe floats in the puddle. Nate jerks upright. The sound stops. Then, behind him, a low exhale. He spins the flashlight around, nothing. Just empty aisles and shelves. Pager buzzes. Dr. Crow, keep moving. Rule 1, lights must stay on. He points the flashlight upward. Half the bulbs are shattered. He takes a deep breath, moves faster, muttering to himself. Nate. Okay. Okay. 1 shift. 1 night. 12 rules. A shadow darts at the edge of his vision, the cat again. It yells, tail puffed, eyes fixed on something behind him. Nate turns. The lights flicker back on. The puddle is gone. The floor spotless. Only his reflection stares back from a steel support column, distorted by water streaks. Int. Depot Security Station, night. He enters a small glass-walled control room filled with outdated monitors, wires, and static. A wall of CCTV feeds flickers, all showing empty aisles except one. Camera 47C, a pale shape crawling across the floor. Nate squints, leaning close. The figure is upside down, moving wrong, limbs bending like they are melting. A trail of dark fluid follows behind it. He jerks away, breathing hard. Pager buzzes again. Dr. Crow, do not watch it too long. It watches back. Nate stares at the pager in disbelief. Nate. What are you? No answer. Outside, the cat hisses violently. Int. Depot Storage Corridor, night. Nate follows the cat's sound through narrow aisles stacked with dust-coated crates. The flashlight beam cuts through thick mist seeping from floor vents. Water drips from the ceiling like sweat. He passes an open locker labeled Mallory, RAF. Inside, a rusted medical kit, a dog tag, and a blooded note taped to the door. Written in smeared ink. Starve it. Nate feels his pulse spike. The air suddenly changes, pressure dropping, distant hum rising. A faint shape at the far end of the aisle, tall, humanoid, skin gleaming wet. Then the lights die again. Darkness swallows everything but the red glow of the exit sign. Int. Depot Stairwells, night. Nate sprints toward the stairs, footsteps echoing. Pager buzzes again, green light blinking. Dr. Crow, Proceed to sublevel 3. Retrieve vial #47X. He stops mid-step, panting. Nate. Sublevel what? No. Pager buzzes again, same message repeating. Then static, and her voice comes through, calm and emotionless. Dr. Crow, VO. This is not optional, Mr. Whitaker. We require the sample. Complete your shift, and you'll be compensated. The voice fades back into static. Nate looks up the stairwell. Water drips from above. Below, the darkness yawns like an open mouth. The cat appears again at the top step, staring down at him, silent, watchful. Nate grips the railing, swallows hard, and begins his descent. As he vanishes into the dark, a single fluorescent bulb overhead flickers, then dies. Int. Stairwell, night. Nate descends concrete stairs slick with condensation. Each step echoes like a heartbeat. The air gets heavier, thicker, smelling of rust, ammonia, and old rain. His flashlight flickers, struggling. The beam catches words scrawled on the wall in smeared grease. SUB level 3, authorized only. At the landing, the elevator doors stand open. Inside, the metal floor is wet with something viscous that looks half like oil, half like tar. Pager buzzes. Dr. Crow, retrieve vial #47X from sublevel 3. Do not remove anything else. Nate exhales sharply, forcing his voice to stay steady. Nate. Copy that. The cat, Soot, pads up beside him, tail twitching. Its one eye glows faintly amber in the dark. Nate, softly. You're not coming in there. He presses the elevator button. The doors close with a sound like breath being drawn in. Int. Elevator, descending, night. Fluorescent light above hums unevenly. The floor indicator ticks down, L1, L2, L3. A droplet of dark fluid lands on Nate's wrist from the ceiling. He looks up, a seam in the metal drips slowly. He wipes it away with a paper towel. The towel smokes for a moment, edges curling black. Nate stares in horror. The elevator stops. Ding. Doors slide open. Int. Sublevel 3 corridor, night. The air is different, dense and humid, faintly pulsing. Pipes run along the ceiling like veins, dripping steam. Emergency lights flash every few seconds, painting everything in alternating red and white. Nate steps forward, boots splashing in ankle-deep water. The corridor bends ahead, lined with plastic curtains and sealed crates marked BIO Storage 47. He breathes through his sleeve. Nate, to himself. Grab the vial. Leave. That's it. Soot appears at the end of the corridor, somehow already down here, tail low. It hisses, then darts left, vanishing through a hanging plastic sheet. Nate follows cautiously. Int. Lab Annex, continuous. The small chamber beyond looks like a morgue. Rows of stainless tables, cracked monitors, glass sample lockers with numbers burned onto them. Half the ceiling panels hang loose, wires dangling. A humming generator in the corner powers a single flickering bulb. On a central table, a body bag, unzipped halfway. Nate's flashlight beam trembles across it. Inside, an empty human skin, flattened and translucent, like a shed cocoon. Pager buzzes. Dr. Crow, retrieve sample before containment fails. Nate swallows hard. Nate. Yeah, no pressure. He scans the lockers. 41X. 43X. 45X. Finally, 47X. He reaches out, opens the small metal door. A single vial rests inside, sealed with wax. Inside the glass, a swirling, dark liquid with faint motes of red. He slips it carefully into his jacket pocket. The generator sputters. The light flickers out. Silence. Then, a sound like breathing, but too wet, too deep. Nate turns slowly. In the faint glow from the emergency beacon, something tall moves behind the plastic curtain. A massive shape, 2.7 meters, skin sagging like melting wax. A vertical seam where a mouth should be. It bends unnaturally low, sniffing the air. Nate freezes. The seam opens, a wet, sucking sound. A faint voice, distorted, overlapping. The glutton. Hungry, feed it back. The creature's head tilts. It takes a step forward, floor creaking. Nate's breath catches. He slowly backs toward the wall, eyes fixed on it. Then soot hisses violently from behind a table, knocking over a metal tray. The sound explodes through the silence. The glutton lunges toward the noise, slamming into the table. Nate dives for the side door, locked. He fumbles the handle, heart hammering. The thing's massive arm sweeps across the room, crashing through shelves, flinging samples everywhere. Vials explode, liquids hissing against the floor. Nate ducks under the debris, crawls for the vent grate near the floor. He tears it open, squeezes inside, dragging himself through the narrow duct as metal shrieks behind him. Int. Vent shaft, night. Darkness. Only the small beam from his flashlight illuminates rusted steel walls. From below, thunderous banging, the creature trying to follow. Metal bends inward with each impact. Soot scurries ahead, tail disappearing around a bend. A spark bursts near Nate's elbow, wiring stripped bare. He crawls faster, sweat dripping, whispering to keep himself sane. Nate. Come on, stay together, don't break. Behind him, the banging stops. Silence again. Then a low growl, impossibly close. A drop of fluid lands on his back. He twists, a long, wax-slick arm reaching through the vent grill behind him. He kicks wildly, hits metal, sparks flying. Soot leaps onto a bundle of cables and bites down. The vent lights up, a blinding electrical flash. The shock travels down the metal duct, jolting the reaching arm. The glutton shrieks, a deafening, multi-voiced wail, and slams backward into the wall. Nate scrambles forward, coughing as smoke fills the vent. He drops out through an opening onto a lower level. Int. Sub-level maintenance room, night. He hits the floor hard, gasping. Lights flicker above, greenish emergency fluorescence buzzing to life again. The room is lined with boilers, oxygen tanks, and pipes leaking white vapor. Condensation runs down like rain. Soot lands beside him gracefully, shakes off soot from its fur. Nate. Good cat. You probably saved my life. The cat only stares at him with that single glowing eye. Nate pulls the vial from his pocket. The wax seal now cracked. Inside, the dark liquid writhes as though aware of him. He stuffs it into a tool pouch and zips it shut. Pager buzzes. Dr. Crow, sample retrieved. Nate, breathless. Yes? What is it? Dr. Crow, do not speak to it. Static. Int. Service corridor, night. Nate limps through steam-filled tunnels lined with corroded pipes. Somewhere above, mechanical clanging echoes like heavy footsteps. Water drips from overhead, carrying flecks of dark residue. He passes a faded sign, red access, authorized personnel only. The red door from earlier. Down here, another one just like it. Behind it, something shifts. Pager buzzes again. Rule 7, if pager ends in 0, do not answer. The digits blink, 00. Pager beeps again, louder. A female voice, soft and monotone, filters through the static. Dr. Crow, VO. Mr. Whitaker, open the red door. Nate stares at the screen, horrified. Nate. No, No way. The cat arches, hissing, claws scraping the concrete. The voice insists, faintly distorted. Dr. Crow, VO. You must feed it. To contain it. Nate smashes the pager against the wall until it dies. Its green light fades out. The red door hums softly, then clicks open on its own. A faint red glow spills into the corridor, pulsing like a heartbeat. Nate backs away slowly. Inside, rows of metal shelves holding 12 glass containers. Each filled with viscous black fluid, one already shattered. Thin tendrils of that same red-black liquid creep along the floor toward him, twitching like worms. He slams the door shut and kicks a steel crate against it. The metal bulges outward, as though something presses from the other side. Nate grabs a wrench and backs away. Soot jumps onto the crate, hissing, claws extended. The door goes still. Int. Maintenance control room, later. Nate slumps against the console, breathing hard. Sweat and condensation blur his vision. He checks the wall clock, 2:58 a.m. Almost halfway through the shift. Pager lies broken beside him, its casing cracked open. He wipes his face, then looks around at the machinery, boilers, furnaces, fuel tanks. He spots an old incinerator hatch with a faded warning. Biohazard disposal, manual ignition only. He stares at the vial again, the fluid inside pressing against the glass, forming vague shapes like eyes. Nate, whispering. What the hell are you? From somewhere above, a deep thud. Followed by a dragging sound, metal scraping concrete. Nate stands, wrench raised. Soot hisses toward the ceiling. Dust drifts down like snow. Then, silence. He exhales, forcing calm. Looks down the corridor toward the elevator shaft. At the far end, a single light flickers on, revealing the glutton's silhouette. It's taller now, limbs longer, moving slower, but deliberate. Nate grips the vial tighter, eyes wide. The creature stops, head tilting toward him. From its chest, a faint whisper. The glutton. Feed it back. Then the light dies. Darkness swallows everything. Int. Sublevel 3, continuous. Only sound, dripping water, distant mechanical rumble. Nate edges backward, wrench trembling in his hand. He whispers to Soot. Nate. Stay close. From the dark, a heavy inhale. Then, silence again. He turns toward the incinerator room. Every instinct screaming, run. Behind him, footsteps, wet and slow, follow. The cat darts ahead, tail disappearing into the flickering orange glow of the furnace chamber. Nate runs after it. Int. Incinerator chamber, continuous. The furnace glows faintly, embers alive inside. Heat warps the air. Nate turns the manual valve. The old ignition system groans awake. The sound behind him grows louder, a steady drag, closer every second. He looks once at the vial, once at the fire. Nate whispers. If I burn you, maybe we both walk out alive. The vial pulses violently in his hand, as if resisting. He raises it above the hatch. Int. Incinerator chamber, night. Orange light flickers against steel walls streaked with condensation. The ancient incinerator hums like a sleeping engine coming alive. Nate stands before it, the vial 47X trembling in his hand, the black fluid inside swirling with slow, deliberate motion. The floor vibrates, soft at first, then rhythmic. Each pulse matches the faint, wet heartbeat coming from somewhere behind him. Nate, whispering. Stay calm. Stay moving. One shift. One night. The catsup crouches near the doorway, fur raised, one eye gleaming in the furnace light. A soft creak. The door behind them bows inward. Steam hisses from its hinges. From beyond the metal. A whisper, laird and wrong. The glutton, OS. Hungry, return the light. Nate closes his eyes, clutching the vial tighter. Nate. You're not getting it. He pulls the ignition lever. Flames surge inside the furnace, a sudden blast of orange and white. Heat rolls across the room, washing over him like breath. For a moment, nothing moves. Then the door bursts open. Incinerator chamber, adjacent corridor, continuous. A rush of fog and ash spills in, twisting in the hot air. Nate staggers back as shadows ripple along the walls, elongated, liquid, uncertain. Through the haze, the glutton appears only in pieces. A silhouette bending in the light, shoulders like melted wax, the outline of a human face embedded where a chest should be. It does not rush him. It only reaches, as if asking. Nate backs toward the furnace hatch. The cat hisses, arching higher. Nate to the air. Dr. Crow, what is this thing? The pager, cracked but still sparking, answers with static. Dr. Crow, VO. Containment failed in 2019. You're holding its heart. Nate stares at the vial. The dark fluid beats once, like a pulse against the glass. Dr. Crow, VO, continuing. If you burn it, it dies. If you keep it, it feeds. Decide quickly. The voice fades. The glutton takes another step forward, light rippling across its dripping surface. Close on Nate. Sweat streams down his temple. He lifts the vial toward the furnace, but the heat forces him back. The fluid inside vibrates, stretching tendrils toward the cracks in the glass. The glutton's voice comes again, now almost pleading, almost human. The glutton. It hurts. I am many, let me rest. For the first time, Nate hesitates. His father's photograph flashes in his mind, oxygen mask, trembling hand, the same quiet plea to let it end. Nate grips the vial harder. Nate. Then rest. He throws it. The vial hits the furnace hatch, shatters, and the black liquid ignites in a hiss of light. A column of smoke erupts, black twisting into red. The flames roar, the temperature spiking instantly. The glutton staggers, its outline dissolving, edges tearing into ribbons of smoke. A sound like distant screaming merges with the howl of the incinerator fans. Nate shields his face. The cat bolts under a pipe. The heat lightens to white, then silence. Incinerator chamber, minutes later. Smoke drifts upward, curling through broken vents. Nate lies on the floor, dazed, the orange glow now soft and steady. He coughs, sits up slowly. The furnace hums calmly, the hatch glows faintly red, sealed. No sign of the creature. Only ashes floating in slow motion through the air. He wipes soot from his cheek, notices the burned outline of his hand on the metal handle, like a ghost of touch. Soot pads forward, sniffs the air, and lets out a single low trill. Nate gives a weak laugh. Nate. Yeah. We made it. He looks around the chamber, pipes vibrating, alarms silent. For the first time, the depot feels empty instead of alive. Pager buzzes faintly again. He picks it up, the screen half melted. Dr. Crow, containment complete, £50,000 compensation en route. Nate stares at it in disbelief. Then another line scrolls across. Exit before dawn. Depot main corridor, PRE dawn. Nate moves through mist-filled aisles lit only by scattered emergency lamps. Everything drips. Labels flutter from shelves like tired flags. The air hums faintly, the entire structure breathing one last time. He passes the spot where Malady fell. Only his pager remains, cracked, still blinking. Nate kneels, picks it up. The screen shows a single word. Starve it. He pockets it quietly. Extension, depot loading dock, PRE dawn. The main doors hang open, fog spilling outward toward the flooded causeway. A faint grey light spreads on the horizon. The storm has stopped. The marsh is still. Nate steps outside, breathing real air for the first time all night. Soot follows, hopping onto the wet concrete. A brown envelope sits on a crate near the door. Stamped, payroll final. Inside, £50,000 in cash, crisp, bound, and damp at the edges. He stares at it. Nate, softly. Guess they pay on time. He slips the envelope under his jacket. The cat meows. Nate kneels, scratching gently behind its ear. Nate. We're done, Soot. No more rules. The cat blinks once, then turns toward the depot, tail flicking. Nate frowns. A faint red light flickers deep inside the building. Like a heartbeat starting again. Int. Depot threshold, extension, causeway, dawn. He stands on the threshold, sunrise diffused by fog. Behind him, the depot looms in silence. Then, metal creaks. The massive doors begin to close automatically, slow and heavy. Nate watches them grind shut. Steam curls from their seams as they seal. When the final clang echoes, the building vanishes into mist, as if it never existed. He blinks, stunned. Only the flooded causeway remains stretching toward the horizon. Soot sits on the edge of the water, staring at its own reflection. One bright eye, one black void. Nate joins it. For a long moment, neither moves. Then Soot's reflection winks out, the surface of the water perfectly still. Nate looks down. The cat is gone. Extension, causeway, morning. Pale sunlight breaks through low clouds. Nate trudges along the cracked concrete path, water lapping at his boots. Behind him, the fog begins to lift. He glances back one last time. Nothing, no depot, no gate, only open marsh. Pager in his pocket vibrates once more. He hesitates, then pulls it out. The screen flickers to life. Text scrolls slowly, deliberate. Dr. Crow, good work, Mr. Whitaker. See you next season. The pager dies for good. Nate exhales, half laugh, half sob. He tosses it into the floodwater and keeps walking. Extension, Somerset levels, sunrise. The camera rises with him. Fog dispersing into light, reeds glinting gold. Far in the distance, the faint outline of the Blackfell Depot flickers back into view for one impossible second, its shape refracted by the mist. Then fades again, leaving only ripples. Music swells, slow, mournful strings with a steady electronic heartbeat beneath. Nate's silhouette shrinks against the vast expanse of the marsh. He disappears into the dawn haze. The wind carries a single sound across the water. A soft feline meow echoing from nowhere. Part 2. Extension, Bristol outskirts, afternoon. Sunlight bleeds through a washed-out sky, pale and too clean. Traffic hums along the M5. The world feels ordinary again, almost. Nate Whitaker, unshaven and sleepless, stands at an ATM outside a convenience store. He inserts his card. The screen flashes, balance plus £50,000. He stares at the number, then at his reflection in the glass, eyes hollow, cheek scar still raw from the cat's claw. He whispers, "Nate. It's real." Behind him, a bus rumbles past painted with a huge Amazon-style smile. Its slogan reads, "Blackfell, we deliver tomorrow." Nate freezes. The logo wasn't there yesterday. Int. Nate's flat later. Boxes stacked along the walls. The air smells of damp and cold coffee. Nate sits at the kitchen table, staring at the brown envelope of cash. He hasn't opened it since morning. The pager, charred, dead, lies beside it. He reaches for his laptop. The browser loads slowly. He types, Blackfell Depot, Somerset fire. No results. Not even the address exists. He scrolls further. A pop-up window flickers open by itself. System audit, Blackfell Crotech network reconnecting. Nate slams the lid shut. The laptop hums for a second longer than it should. Int. Bathroom, late afternoon. Steam fogs the mirror. Nate leans over the sink, splashing water on his face. When he looks up, a faint black smudge blooms behind his reflection, spreading like ink through glass. He wipes it. It doesn't go away. Instead, letters form within the fog. Audit begins at 5 p.m. The pager on the counter buzzes, though its battery is gone. Nate backs away. Extension, Bristol Industrial Park, Sunset. A courier drone hums overhead. Below it stands a white van with faded corporate decals. Crotech Supply Audit. The back door slides open by itself. Inside sits a small cardboard box stamped Blackfell, BIO return. A printed note lies on top. Mr. Whitaker, please confirm item integrity. Drive E, Crow. Nate steps closer. He can smell the depot, the same sterile rot. He lifts the lid. Inside, cushioned in foam, the vial 47X, perfectly sealed again. He drops it. It doesn't break, it only shivers, the liquid pulsing faintly red. His phone lights up with a new text. Dr. Crow, containment incomplete. Report to audit facility, Glastonbury 12 miles. Nate looks up the road, empty and grey. He laughs once, bitter, exhausted. Nate. Yeah. Of course. He pockets the vial and climbs into the van. Int. Audit facility, evening. A windowless building sits half-sunken in earth, hidden behind overgrown hedges. Inside, white corridors, humming lights, plastic floor that echoes under every step. Nate walks through, clutching the box. No guards, no reception, only signs taped to the walls. Follow blue line. No voice contact with staff. He rounds a corner. At the far end stands a glass observation room. Inside, a woman's silhouette, short hair, lab coat, back turned. A speaker crackles. Dr. Crow, VO. Welcome back, Mr. Whitaker. You performed well. Nate's voice trembles. Nate. You said it was over. Dr. Crow, VO. Containment is never over. We audit the survivors. The overhead light hum deepens. From vents along the floor, thin fog begins to drift in, familiar, metallic, alive. Nate. I burned it. I watched it die. Dr. Crow, VO. Fire sterilizes only the host. Not the pattern. Did you bring the sample? He sets the box on the floor. The fog thickens. The glass wall in front of him flickers with faint static, as if it's also a screen. Behind it, the woman turns. Her face isn't visible, only a blur, eyes glowing pale blue through distortion. Dr. Crow, VO. We'll begin the second shift shortly. Int. Audit room, moments later. The box slides across the floor on its own, stopping beneath a steel intake chute. A mechanical arm lowers, retrieving the vial with perfect precision. Nate backs toward the door. The lights cut out. Emergency strobes flash red. A single alarm tone hums, low and constant. The speaker returns. Dr. Crow, VO. Do not move. We are verifying you. The fog reaches his ankles, warm now, almost breathing. Nate. Verifying what? Dr. Crow, VO. That you're still human. The air snaps cold. From inside the chute, the vial begins to vibrate violently, then stops. Dr. Crow, VO. Containment breach. Sublevel 1. The lights flicker back on. Through the observation glass, a dark ripple moves across the floor toward the exit. It looks like spilled ink crawling against gravity. Nate slams the door shut and bolts down the corridor. Int. Corridor system continuous. Sirens pulse in dull rhythm. Blue guidance lines glow under his feet. He turns a corner. At the far end, the one-eyed Katsut sits calmly in the middle of the hallway. Nate stops dead. The cat shouldn't be here. It blinks once, slowly. Then turns and trots toward a maintenance door, tail flicking like a signal. Nate follows, half running. He yanks the door open. Behind it, a staircase descending into green light. Int. Ordered facility sublevel evening. The architecture mirrors Blackfell's, only newer, cleaner. Every step echoes through hollow concrete. The cat disappears around a bend. Nate reaches a junction labeled Archive, BIO Containment. The walls hum faintly, like living skin. He edges into the archive room. Rows of transparent lockers line the walls, each holding a suspended object. A glove, a shoe, a rusted name tag, a vial, a handwritten rule sheet, 12 of them. Each tagged with different names: Mallory, Carter, Nguyen, D, Crow. Nate stares. One locker at the center is still open. The tag reads Whitaker. Inside, a fresh sheet of paper, spotless. He picks it up. Ink begins to appear on its surface letter by letter. Rule 1, keep the lights on. Rule 2, obey the audit. He drops it. Behind him, the hallway lights flicker off in a wave, one by one. The fog rolls back in, denser than before. A voice from everywhere and nowhere, fractured and familiar. The glutton, VO. You burned my body, not my mouth. Nate grabs a metal chair, swings it toward the darkness. The impact echoes endlessly, as if the room itself absorbed it. He bolts for the stairs, lungs burning. Int. Upper corridor, night. He emerges into a long hallway lined with emergency lamps. At the far end, the glass observation room glows again. Dr. Crow's figure stands motionless. Nate, shouting. End this. You hear me? End it. The voice through the speaker is calm. Dr. Crow, VO. You already ended it once. Now we measure what remains. Nate pounds the glass. Nate. What did you do to me? Dr. Crow, VO. You breathed its smoke. We need to see how long you last. The lights behind her flare white. For a second, her face is visible. And it's his own. Nate staggers back, horrified. The glass darkens again. Dr. Crow, VO. Shift resumes at midnight. Prepare your station. The intercom clicks off. Int. Facility exit corridor later. Nate stumbles outside through a maintenance door. Dusk has fallen, rain begins to mist over the fields. The cat perches on a fence post, waiting. Nate wipes water from his eyes. Nate. They won't let me leave, will they? The cat tilts its head, then looks toward the dark horizon. Where, far away, a faint red light blinks through the fog, the same rhythm as Blackfell's runway beacon. Nate's breath catches. He starts walking toward it. The cat follows. Extension, Somerset levels, night. Fog thickens again, swallowing the world to white. Every sound dulls until there's only the squelch of boots and distant water. In the distance, the outline of a structure rises through the mist. Corrugated metal, floodlights, the sign barely visible. Blackfell Depot, reopening under new management. A faint hum begins, like an engine restarting. Pager in his pocket vibrates once, though he left it broken in Bristol. He takes it out. The cracked screen glows blood red. Dr. Crow, welcome back to Shift 2. Nate exhales a trembling laugh. He looks at the cat. Nate. Guess we are not clocked out yet. The depot doors is open, bright white light spilling across the flooded path. He steps forward into it. And the fog closes behind him. Extension, Blackfell Depot, midnight. The fog thickens again, rolling in waves over the flooded causeway. The sign over the entrance flickers in and out, Blackfell Depot, under new management. The lights buzz to life one by one, guiding a single figure along the path, Nate, soaked from the rain, face pale, eyes hollow from sleeplessness. Behind him, Soot trots quietly, tail twitching like a metronome. As they approach the gate, the air hums low, deep enough to shake the puddles. The massive doors part automatically. Inside, white light spills out, too clean, too sharp, too alive. Nate hesitates. Nate, to himself. One last time. He steps through. Int. Depot entrance continuous. The space has changed. It's the same layout as before, but everything has been sterilized, floors waxed, walls newly painted, racks restocked with neat boxes labeled BIO return. And in the center of the lobby, a sleek, humming terminal kiosk with a touch screen that reads, "Welcome, Mr. Whitaker. Shift 2 initiated. Please place palm 4 ID." Nate doesn't move. The screen pulses faintly with warmth, like skin. A synthetic voice speaks, not Crow's this time. It's male, smooth, artificial. System voice, VO. Verification required. Containment logs show biological variants in Subject 2047. Nate. I'm not part of this anymore. System voice, VO. Correction. You never left. The lights above dim slightly. From the far corner, the fog begins seeping in again, crawling through the ventilation grates. Soot hisses. Nate presses his palm to the screen. The kiosk flashes scanning. Match confirmed. Then, quietly. Welcome back, Gatekeeper Whitaker. Int. Main hall later. Every step echoes. The air hums faintly, like the building itself has lungs. Overhead lights switch on sequentially, leading him toward a corridor marked sublevel access. The walls bear new signs. Rule 1, no mirrors. Rule 2, report anomalous reflections immediately. Nate stops in front of a large stainless steel panel polished like a mirror. His reflection looks back, but it's smiling. He isn't. For a moment, the reflection lingers even when he steps aside. Then it fades. Nate exhales shakily. Nate. Not again. He continues downward. Int. Sublevel stairwell continuous. The steps descend endlessly, lit by intermittent red emergency strips. The hum of machinery grows louder below, a deep mechanical heartbeat. He stops halfway down when he hears a distant noise, metal dragging on concrete. Soot crouches low, ears flat. The noise repeats, closer now. Something is scraping the walls, slow and deliberate. Nate pulls out his phone. No signal. Only one message queued, time-stamped 1 second. Dr. Crow, observe, don't interfere. He pockets it, breath shaking. Int. Sublevel control room, night. The room is dark except for monitors glowing faint blue. Nate edges inside, flashlight sweeping over consoles and spilled folders. The cat hops onto a desk, sniffing at a stack of papers labeled Audit Genome Variant 2047b. Nate scans the first page. Subject Whitaker, residual contamination inhalation based. Symptoms, reflective echoes, cognitive split, corporeal bleed over. Nate freezes. The document includes a photo of him taken hours ago, standing outside the depot. He whispers, "Nate." They are still watching. On a nearby monitor, a feed flickers to life, camera 12 North Corridor. In the grainy image, Nate sees himself walking, right now, down that same hallway. Except he's standing here. He turns slowly. The door creaks open by itself. Int. Sublevel corridor continuous. The corridor stretches long and sterile. Fluorescent lights buzz above. At the far end, another Nate walks toward him. Same uniform. Same tired gait. But this one's expression is perfectly calm, too calm. They stop 10 feet apart. Nate, hoarse. "Who are you?" Other Nate. "You left the door open." "I came back." The other version tilts his head. Behind him, fog flows like smoke from invisible vents. "Nate. You're not real." Other Nate. "Neither are you. Not anymore." The lights flicker. When they return, the second Nate is gone. Only footprints remain, wet, glowing faintly under the fluorescence. Soot yowls softly. Int. Archive storage 047. Nate ducks into the storage room, breathing hard. Rows of sealed glass containers line the walls, each tagged with a date and a name. He spots one labeled Mallory, genome sample terminated. Inside, a charred scrap of paper floats in preserving fluid. He moves to the next, Crow active. The vial holds nothing visible. Just ripples, like heat distortions in air. Nate's flashlight flickers. The temperature drops several degrees. The intercom hums. "Dr. Crow, VO. Mr. Whitaker. Please refrain from entering restricted areas." Nate spins toward the ceiling speaker. "Nate. You said containment failed. What am I now?" "Dr. Crow, VO. That's what we are trying to determine." "Nate. You're using me." "Dr. Crow, VO. Correction. We are observing you." The voice fades into static. Then another voice, his own, whispers back through the speaker, distorted. "Nate, VO. She's lying. Run." The lights stutter. Int. Maintenance corridor 130. Nate runs. Pipes rattle above, condensation dripping like rain. He stops when he hears breathing behind him, not human, deeper, resonant. He turns, nothing but fog and flickering light. Then, emerging through it, the glutton, or what's left of it. Now it's half translucent, shifting form constantly, reflecting pieces of its surroundings like mirrored glass. It's not approaching. It's mimicking. When Nate steps back, it steps forward. When he breathes, it exhales in sync. "Nate. You're not real." It speaks, in his voice. The glutton, as Nate. "Neither are you." The words echo down the corridor like a broken intercom. Nate pulls a fire extinguisher from the wall and swings. The thing splinters into shards of mirrored vapor, each reflecting a different version of him screaming silently. The pieces scatter, melt into the floor, gone. He sinks to his knees, gasping. Int. Central Control 215. The control room has come alive. Every monitor blazes white, showing looping feeds of different times, Nate arriving, Mallory alive, the fire, the ordered facility, his own apartment, all overlapping. The speakers erupt with layered voices, Dr. Crow, the glutton, himself, impossible to separate. He stumbles to the main console. The touchpad reads. Shift 2 active. Subjects remaining 1. He types manually into the console. Terminate shift. The system responds instantly. Error. Gatekeeper required. He slams his fist down. Soot jumps onto the console, paw pressing a secondary switch. An alarm triggers, override initiated. Containment offline. Nate looks up. The lights above turn red. Fog rushes back in through the vents, flooding the room. Through the haze, faint silhouettes emerge, echoes of every lost worker, moving like film ghosts through the aisles. Nate whispers. Nate. We are all still here. Int. Depot loading bay 3 o'clock. Massive doors groan open automatically. Outside, dawn light seeps through fog, a false dawn, sickly grey. Nate carries the cat under one arm, breathing hard, eyes wide. He reaches the threshold, turns back. The depot pulses with red light like a living heart. Then, Dr. Crow, VO. You can't leave mid-shift. Nate freezes. Dr. Crow, VO. Containment depends on you staying inside the loop. Nate. Then break it. End the loop. Dr. Crow, VO. I can't. You built it. The words hit him like cold metal. He looks down. The red glow reflects off a metal badge clipped to his jacket, one he doesn't remember wearing. It reads, Operations Supervisor N. Whitaker. He laughs, half mad. Nate. No. No, that's not me. Dr. Crow, VO. It is now. The depot's lights flare. The great doors slam shut, sealing him back inside. Soot claws at his shoulder, hissing toward the roof. From the vents above, faint whispers spill down, hundreds of overlapping voices, chanting one word over and over. Gatekeeper. Int. Depot Central 329. Nate stands alone under the flickering lights, the cat crouched beside him. The floor hums like a living pulse. He stares at the terminal, at the line repeating endlessly across every screen. Shift 2 continues until subject stops existing. He exhales. Then, quietly. Nate. Then let's see who stops first. He reaches for the power main. Int. Depot Central Control 331. Sparks hiss from shattered monitors. Smoke curls like silk through the red glow. The power main hums under Nate's hand, warm and pulsing like a vein. Nate hesitates, then pulls the lever. The lights die instantly. Only emergency beacons remain, flashing dull amber through the haze. For a moment, the silence feels absolute. Then the intercom clicks alive. Dr. Crow's voice returns, faint but steady. Dr. Crow, VO. Manual override detected. Reflection protocol engaged. The air pressure shifts, a soft pop in Nate's ears. Mirrors slide silently out from the walls, lining the control room with endless glass. Each one reflects him slightly differently, older, younger, smiling, bleeding, calm. Nate. No, no, turn it off. Dr. Crow, VO. Observation cannot continue without reflection. The cat Soot yowls, backing into a corner. Its reflection stutters, showing 2 cats instead of 1, then none. Nate steps toward the nearest mirror. In it, his reflection moves half a second late. Close on the reflection. The other Nate breathes slowly, deliberately. When the real Nate exhales, the reflection inhales. When he blinks, the reflection smiles faintly. It speaks, without sound at first. Then, quietly. Reflection. You burned the host. Now you're the carrier. Nate stumbles back, knocking over a chair. The room pulses red once, as though the depot itself drew a breath. Nate. You're not real. Reflection. You said that last time too. The mirrors begin to fog over from the edges, steam rising like breath. Through the mist, faint silhouettes appear, the lost workers, blurred figures walking behind the glass, repeating the same mechanical motions over and over. Int. Depot Central continuous. Nate backs toward the doorway. Every mirror surface he passes ripples faintly, his reflection lagging just enough to be wrong. He catches a glimpse of one mirror, where Dr. Crow's figure stands behind him, though she isn't in the room. He spins, nothing there. The intercom hums again. Dr. Crow, VO. Mr. Whitaker, you must complete the reflection cycle. Nate. What cycle? Dr. Crow, VO. We can't close the loop until the image stabilizes. Nate. What image? Dr. Crow, VO. You? The voice fades into static. Int. Archive Corridor 350. Nate walks fast through the flickering hallway, clutching his flashlight. He passes a cracked mirror on the wall, the reflection shows him looking the other way. He stops. Steps backward. The reflection doesn't follow. Instead, it raises its hand, pointing behind him. Nate slowly turns. Down the corridor, something moves across the ceiling, crawling silently like an inverted shadow. He backs up, heart pounding, flashlight trembling. The shadow stops directly above him. A drop of condensation falls, but it's red. Nate bolts down the corridor. Int. Hangar Bay 403. Massive and dark, the hangar hums faintly under emergency lights. Rows of cargo containers sit stacked like tombs. At the far end, a mirror wall spanning the width of the room, fractured but glowing with internal light. Each crack leaks a soft white luminescence, like moonlight through glass veins. Nate approaches, drawn to it. In the reflection, the room looks alive, light steady, fog gone, the building whole again. His mirrored self stands waiting at the center, posture calm, eyes steady. Reflection. You built this place, remember? Nate. That's not true. Reflection. You designed the containment model. Crow was your voice. Nate shakes his head violently. Nate. No. I was recruited. I was a temp. Reflection. You were the first test. The perfect subject, obedient, desperate, disposable. Nate's breath quickens. Nate. You're lying. The reflection tilts its head. Reflection. Then why does your badge say supervisor? Nate looks down. The badge gleams under the red light. He tears it off and throws it at the mirror. It passes through the surface like water, vanishing. The reflection smiles. Reflection. See? You're already inside. The glass ripples outward, then bursts silently into a wall of fog and light. Int. Mirror space continuous. Nate steps through instinctively. Sound vanishes. He's standing in an infinite white corridor, floor reflecting like polished water. Every direction repeats endlessly, a perfect mirrored void. He looks down, his reflection stares back, inverted. When he moves, the reflection moves exactly in sync now. He whispers. Nate. Where am I? The answer comes from all around, a chorus of voices, Crow's, his own, the workers, the gluttons, merging into one. Voices, VO. Inside the pattern. The floor vibrates softly beneath his feet, as if breathing. Images flicker along the walls, snippets of memory. His father in the hospital, Mallory's suicide, the burning vial, Soot's glowing eye. Each fades as soon as he focuses on it. He starts walking. His reflection walks too, step for step. The further he goes, the louder the heartbeat beneath the floor becomes. Int. Mirror Crossway 430. He reaches a junction where three mirrored hallways intersect. In the center floats a suspended sphere of black glass, turning slowly. It pulses faintly with light from within, rhythm steady, one heartbeat every few seconds. Nate approaches. Within the sphere, faint silhouettes move, versions of himself at different ages, different uniforms, different expressions. He whispers, "Nate. Is that all of me?" The sphere answers in his own voice. "Sphere, VO. We kept you alive. You keep the system closed. That's what gatekeepers do." Nate stares at it, horrified. "Nate. Close it. End it. Sphere, VO. We can't end what you are. We can only mirror it." The sphere expands, filling the space with black light. For a moment, everything stops, no sound, no motion. Then the glass shatters outward in a wave of light. Int. Depot Central, 5 o'clock. Nate wakes on the floor, coughing. He's back in the control room. Smoke rises from every console. Soot sits nearby, unburned, watching him. Nate touches his face, warm tears, not blood. The intercom clicks softly. Dr. Crow's voice is faint now, almost tender. "Dr. Crow, VO. You survived the reflection. That's rare." Nate, weakly. "What did you do to me?" "Dr. Crow, VO. Nothing you didn't volunteer for." He stares up at the ceiling, where the red lights have dimmed to orange. "Dr. Crow, VO. You are containment now, Mr. Whitaker. You keep it quiet. You keep it fed." Nate's jaw tightens. "Nate. No. Not anymore." He stands, walks to the furnace control panel, the same one he used on the first night. He flips the safety lock. The temperature gauges spike. "Dr. Crow, VO. If you burn it again, you burn yourself." Nate smiles faintly. "Nate. Maybe that's the point." He presses the ignition. Int. Depot, wide shot. The building trembles. Flames surge through old ducts, igniting the fog itself, white fire spilling like liquid glass. Every mirrored surface fractures simultaneously, each one reflecting a different Nate, all of them turning to look directly at the camera before dissolving into light. Soot darts toward the exit, vanishing into smoke. Extension, Somerset levels, 545. A column of mist rises where the depot stood, silent and pale, like steam after rain. No fire. No wreckage. Just fog dissipating over water. Nate stands on the causeway, drenched in dawnlight. His reflection glimmers faintly in the floodwater, delayed by half a second. He exhales, steady. From his pocket, the broken pager vibrates once more. Its screen flickers weakly, showing one final message. "Dr. Crow, shift complete. Containment stable. Thank you, gatekeeper." Nate drops it into the water. It sinks slowly, bubbles rising. The fog clears a little more. Birdsong returns for the first time in 2 nights. He looks toward the horizon. In the reflection, the depot still stands, pristine and new. But when he looks up, the land is empty. He takes a deep breath, shoulders heavy, and walks into the morning light. Behind him, the reflection lingers, still watching, until the surface of the water ripples and breaks apart. Part 3, the final shift collapse. Extension, Somerset levels, dawn. Mist rolls low across the flooded plain. Grey light spreads slowly, colorless, heavy. The water reflects a faint shimmer of blue sky that never quite arrives. Nate Whitaker trudges along the cracked concrete causeway, jacket torn, hair plastered to his forehead. Behind him, the depot has vanished completely, no smoke, no ruins, just a perfect silence. He stops to breathe. The sound echoes strangely, as if he's inside a room instead of outdoors. From far away, a single pager tone pings across the fog, one he threw away hours ago. He turns. The sound repeats, closer this time, Extension, flooded field continuous. Nate wades knee-deep into the marsh, searching for the noise. The water is perfectly still except for faint ripples spreading outward, concentric and slow. Something glints below the surface, the pager, lying flat on the silt. He hesitates, then picks it up. It's clean. Not wet. The screen flashes to life. Dr. Crow, follow the signal. We need to finish what you started. Nate stares at it, mouth dry. Nate. You're still alive. He looks around, nothing but fog and empty fields. Then, in the distance, faint through the mist, a radio tower blinking red once every few seconds. The signal. He exhales, starts walking. Extension, radio tower, morning. A steel skeleton rising from the flooded ground, streaked with rust. At its base stands a small, square building with boarded windows and a cracked concrete ramp. A sign, barely legible, Protect Communication Node 7 Research Access Only. Nate circles the structure. The door is ajar. Inside, faint light pulses from a single monitor. Int. Node 7 Continuous. The air hums faintly, machines breathing. A laptop sits on a metal desk, screen glowing pale green. The catsuit slips in behind Nate, tail curling around his leg. On the screen. Live feed, Blackfell Gateway, status, restored. Voice link established, Dr. Crow. A faint hiss, then her voice, clearer now, human but tired. Dr. Crow, VO. You made it. Good. Nate grips the desk. Nate. You said it was over. Dr. Crow, VO. It's never over, Nathan. It only resets. The screen flickers, showing static, then her face, lit by sterile light. She's older than he imagined, early 50s maybe, wearing a headset. Behind her, white walls, filing cabinets, a cup of tea. Nothing monstrous, just ordinary. Nate. You're real. Dr. Crow. Of course I'm real. But the question is, are you? Nate doesn't answer. Dr. Crow. When you burned the first sample, the program logged your exposure level at 97%. We thought it would kill you. It didn't. You stabilized the pattern. That's why you're still breathing. Nate shakes his head slowly. Nate. You used me. Dr. Crow. No. I studied you. There's a difference. She leans forward slightly, voice lowering. Dr. Crow. Do you remember the glutton's last words? Nate's throat tightens. Nate. It said it wanted to rest. Dr. Crow. Exactly. But you didn't let it rest. You mirrored it. Now it sleeps inside your neural echo. It dreams when you do. The laptop fan was louder, screen dimming slightly. Nate steps back. Nate. You brought me here to fix your mistake. Dr. Crow. No. I brought you here to decide whether we destroy it, or you. The words hang in the air. Outside, thunder rolls distantly across the marsh. Int. Node 7 Continuous. Nate paces. The walls hum with electrical life, fluorescent tubes flicker overhead. He looks down, his reflection shimmers faintly in a puddle near his feet, but it's smiling. He steps on it. The water darkens instantly. The laptop chimes again. Dr. Crow. I can isolate the infection remotely. But I need you to stay still. Nate. And if you can't? Dr. Crow. Then you'll finish the job you started. The screen's light flickers in rhythm with his heartbeat. He feels heat rising under his skin, the same pulse from the vial, alive again. Nate, hoarse. It's not gone, is it? Dr. Crow. No, Nathan. It's remembering. The lights overhead flash white. Int. Node 7 intercut, Crow E's lab. Split screen feeling, 2 mirrored rooms. Crow sits at her terminal, staring at his feed. Nate stands before his own screen, mirroring her posture exactly. The background noises, her air vent, his dripping pipe, line up perfectly. Dr. Crow E. We're synchronized now. Nate. What does that mean? Dr. Crow E. It means if one of us stops breathing, the other does too. Nate freezes. Dr. Crow E. Containment requires equilibrium. We share the infection. We share the outcome. Nate. So this is your idea of control. Dr. Crow E. It's the only kind that works. He looks directly into the webcam. Nate. You could have ended this years ago. Crow's expression softens, the first sign of regret. Dr. Crow E. You think I haven't tried? Every gatekeeper believes they are the first to find me. Every one of you thinks burning it will help. It doesn't. It only resets the pattern in someone new. Nate swallows hard. Nate. So what if I end the pattern myself? Crow tilts her head slightly. Dr. Crow E. That would end you. Not the system. Int. Node 7 to 715. The cat hisses suddenly, staring at the monitor. Crow's image flickers, replaced for a moment by Nate's own reflection speaking in her voice. Reflection, as Crow. Don't listen to her. She's still running the experiment. Nate stumbles backward. The screen splits, 2 crows now, one calm, one distorted, each claiming to be real. Crow number 1. Nathan, stay still. You're destabilizing the link. Crow number 2. Nathan, she's inside the pattern. She never left the depot. The cat leaps onto the desk, knocking over the laptop. The screen cracks. Both voices overlap in digital chorus. Crow's VO. Containment requires choice. Choose. The lights surge, a blinding flash, and the world drops to black. Int. Unknown space 8 o'clock. Silence. Nate opens his eyes. He's standing in the middle of the depot lobby again. Only now it's pristine, glass floors, humming lights, no fog. Soot sits calmly near the security desk, licking its paw. Nate walks forward slowly. On the counter lies a clipboard, blank sheet waiting. The heading reads: Blackfell Gatekeeper Program, New Supervisor Orientation. His name is already typed at the top. Nate, whispering. No. The intercom hums overhead. Dr. Crow E.V.O. Congratulations, Mr. Whitaker. The system accepted you. Nate looks up at the ceiling. Nate. Where are you? Dr. Crow E.V.O. Close. Closer than you think. He spins, and there she is, standing at the far end of the room. Same woman from the laptop, real this time, tired eyes, white coat, the faintest smile. Dr. Crow E. Do you understand now? Nate steps closer, voice low. Nate. You built this loop. Dr. Crow E. No. I entered it. Just like you. Someone else built it long before us. She gestures around, the endless corridors, the hum of unseen machinery. Dr. Crow E. This isn't a warehouse anymore. It's memory. It's made of everything we couldn't let go of. Nate's eyes flicker, images overlap in his mind. His father, Mallory, the glutton, all superimposed within the depot walls. He whispers. Nate. So what happens if we stop remembering? Crow looks almost sad. Dr. Crow E. Then it finally sleeps. Nate looks down at the clipboard, his name shimmering faintly, and drops it to the floor. He turns toward the doors. They are open this time, morning light spilling through. Crow calls after him. Dr. Crow. If you leave, it finds someone else. Nate pauses. Nate. Then maybe it's time it found nobody. He steps through the doorway. Extension, Causeway 845. Fog thins to silver ribbons under early sun. Each step Nate takes echoes like glass cracking underfoot. Behind him, the depot fades, dissolving into pale mist. No explosion, no collapse, just quiet erasure. He stops halfway across the causeway. In the water beside him, his reflection appears normal again, no delay, no smile. He kneels beside it. For a long moment, both he and his reflection breathe in perfect sync. Then the reflection blinks